That's for losers, man. I don't get involved in that stuff. But
Angel Rashad Milligan rolling out.
That's a good question.
Brandon, we can't ask Rashad questions.
All right, bet. Next thing though, but yes, rest in peace for sure. Next thing is Don Staley, man, and this statue. Man, so you know, anytime it's a statue, it's a whole thing. All right, where we at? W Don Staley in the chat. Shout out to Don Staley, man. W the state newspaper. Support local journalism for show. Shout out Chris with the W's. Yes, sir. But support local journalism for sure. Everything like that. State newspaper does a great job of covering South Carolina and everything that they got going on in South Carolina. So the thing is with Asia Wilson, right? Asia Wilson was what happened with Asia Wilson? When she got her statue at South Carolina, they asked Don Staley why. And she said she looked it up, and women only account for about 8%, approximately 8% of the statues in the world that exist in the world. Every statue in the world, most of them, majority, 92, 91, 90% are all men. So it's like she wanted to be able for us to see women in a different light. And that's why she did that for Asia Wilson. And also what Asia Wilson just stood for as a, you know what I'm saying, as a, you know, the figure that really turned it around and kind of birthed the program and a whole thing for South Carolina basketball and things of that sort. So yeah. I want to go to this part though of the celebration where, you know, hey, y'all know how it gets, man. Y'all know how it gets. So, you know, it gets sticky. You know, it get a little sticky. So we gotta go to the drama. She responded to Geno now. All right, hold on.
Most other places, if you win one national championship, they build a statue to you outside the building. Here, they won't even let you get to the front of the bus.
And contrary to the belief of one of my coaching colleagues, her statue wasn't in response to winning a national championship. It was in response to being a winner at life.
Most other places, if you win one national,
I had to switch. What'd you call? That's crazy, bruh. She said being a champion at life. Dang, it's crazy. Look. Let me tell you something now. Obviously, it's always love. It's always kumbaya, my lord. It's always this and that. Oh, I got respect for Geno. I got respect for Don. Look, Coach Yo said, oh, brother. See, I'm used to it now at this point. But it's always I respect Don. Jeez Louise is okay. Goodness gracious. Coach Yo say Don Staley is the chief. Ain't nothing but respect for my chief. Kim Mulkey say, I love Geno. I love Coach Yo. I love Don Staley. Man, look. It's the 1-year anniversary of Euphoria. And I'm so glad Kendrick started all that chaos last year when Thug was going away and things of that sort. Because it showed that, you know what? I actually don't like any of y'all. And I want you to know that. You know, I ain't never said that. But I actually don't like any of y'all. You know, we act all cool. We hug. We do songs together. I bring you on stage. You sing with me. But I actually do not like you. I don't like you, Drake. I don't like you. J. Cole, you cool, but I think I'm better than you. You're seeing the same thing right now in college. And I'm so glad for it. I'm glad Geno took a shot at Don. Because every game, Don and Geno, they hug each other at center court. And they doing all this. They hugging and they shaking and they rocking and they have them mic'd up. I love you, Geno. I love you, Don. Have a great game. Call a great game. Man, look. At the end of the day, what we doing? All right. Good night, Brooklyn. At the end of the day, what we doing, man? UConn ran college basketball for so many years, right? 11, 12, now 12 championships, 11 championships. They were to the point where people were complaining. People like me were complaining about the state of everything and stuff like that of college basketball because there was no parity. It was just like UConn's going to win every year, so why even watch? And then, and then so we get to South Carolina. South Carolina come around, and what the South Carolina fans say? Oh, it's a new day. The UConn era over. It's South Carolina. It's Don Staley. Don Staley to go. And that's what it is. So you don't think with all those narratives that both of them coaches be pushing that they just, oh, I love you so much. This is that. No. Geno, diss him again. Because y'all tried to say I wasn't who I was. Nah, I'm going to keep dissing you. That's what I'm going to do. And then Don diss him back. And then Kim Mulkey joined in for a little more toxicity. This is Geno for taking Sarah Williams from you. Then, let's do that. Let's spice it up. Kim Mulkey, let's diss Coach Yo for thinking she had a chance to get Malaysia for a while. Let's do that. Let's stop acting like we like each other here. We don't like each other. We're competitors. Don't get it twisted. I don't like you. You don't like me. Let's stop acting like it. I like this. I'm all for it, bro. Let's keep it going. Let's keep the negativity going. As long as it stays within the parameters of basketball, let's keep the parameter. Let's keep the negativity and drama going, bro. I rock with it for sure. But salute 100%. You guys are both black and assuming that Danielle is black. Why does LSU and SC hate each other so bad? All right. So it's really like, okay, with LSU and South Carolina, it's really like Kim Mulkey came into that. It's once again, it's like UConn, right? It's UConn and South Carolina. The reason why there's a little rift there, a little rivalry, is because UConn stopped winning championships a decade ago, right? And everybody called it the Candace Parker curse. So then once UConn stopped winning championships, the team that was winning championships the most frequently was South Carolina. She won with Asia Wilson. She won with Aaliyah Boston. And then she won back-to-back last year, right? So it's like, it was looking like Don Staley was taking that place as the new, it program in college basketball. UConn is like, you're not taking my spot. So that's why the UConn South Carolina riff is there. The South Carolina LSU riff is there because once again, South Carolina, okay, we taking over. We are the it program of college basketball. What does LSU do? LSU hires a Louisiana basketball legend who is one of the greatest coaches of all time, a Hall of Fame coach as well, and Kim Mulkey. So they bring over Mulkey and her 3 championships, right? Her 3 national championships from Baylor to LSU and the SEC. So now South Carolina, after being like, not only, of course, I mean, we run the country. South Carolina, like, we run the country. Of course, we run the SEC. But now you got this Kim Mulkey come in with her national championships, or 3 national championships that she won at Baylor. And now it's like, no, you got another elite program that you got to compete with in the SEC. So that's where the South Carolina LSU rivalry comes from. And it's pretty much just like anytime those two face, they kind of want to prove a point of like, we run the SEC, we're the best team in the SEC. And the SEC is the toughest and they kind of want to also push the narrative at the same time that the SEC is the best conference in America. So that's why LSU and South Carolina hate each other so much. Yeah. And like Danielle said, like the scuffles that they had took it to another level. So they've been chirping, like their fan base has been chirping or whatever to protect that. Man, Chris, dog, W Chris, bro, W Chris, 100%, W Chris, bro, W Chris, 100%. But like Danielle said, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am. But like Danielle said, okay, so temperature's been rising between both fan bases, right? Because Moki comes in, and not only does Moki come in, but she eventually gets her star. She gets Angel Reese to come over from Maryland to LSU. Angel Reese becomes the face of SEC basketball, like immediately. Like she blocked the shot with the shoe off and, do the dance with the and one and everything like that. Become the Bayou Barbie and becomes like, you know what I'm saying? All that stuff, everything, it just becomes a thing. So it's like, okay. And then the Leah Boston is like, dang, I was just now getting my shine and you going to take my stuff, you know what I'm saying, to the woo. So they going back and forth. South Carolina blow LSU out the building. Angel first year. So then, you know what I'm saying? So they come back in the championship. Iowa beats South Carolina. So LSU didn't have to face South Carolina again in the championship because they probably would have lost if South Carolina beat Iowa. But shoulda, coulda, woulda, didn't happen. So LSU wins the national championship. They parade around. And so we get to the next year. The next year, temperatures are still high because it's like, who the best team? Who the best team? Who the best team? And in the middle of all that competitive nature, they get into a little thing, right? And then who jumped over the table? Shout out Big Foe and her big brother who be doing the R&B music and stuff like that. This joker jump over the table and get on the court. What y'all ain't gonna talk to my sister like that. But then he look up and he see how tall Cardoso is. She's 6'7". She's 6'7". This joker probably 6 foot, 5'11". So he ain't do nothing after that. But that definitely took their rivalry up to another level. Danielle said, so they beefing about Shine. 100%. They beefing about Shine in the SEC and who run it in the SEC, who run the SEC pretty much. And then also you got to think with the Malaysia thing. Malaysia is the same class as Michaela. So Michaela Williams over at LSU. So like both of them were like fantastic freshmen, and a lot of people were comparing them of like, Malaysia is the best freshman in the SEC, and people were like, no, Michaela Williams. So that in itself was a rivalry. So Malaysia being one of the main people of this rivalry between LSU and South Carolina, going to the rival is crazy. It's crazy, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. But hey, it is what it is. And you say Michaela or Lay? Yeah. It was a thing. Oh, if you ask me who I think is better, I think Michaela Williams, you have to respect her college career, bro. Like Lay, I think Lay might be more talented naturally, but like natural talent can only take you so far. You got to look at the results on the court. And Michaela Williams has been consistent. It's some days, some games where Michaela Williams, where is Michaela Williams? Why did she disappear again? But I think overall, she's just been a little more consistent than Malaysia Fulwiley has been so far in college. So you got to give it to Michaela, because if you're talking about, one of y'all got to come off the bench, if they say that, right? Which I don't think they'll say. They'll probably just put Michaela at the 3. But say if they said one of y'all got to come off the bench, it's going to be Lay coming off the bench. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. Michaela has a better IQ. She's very like kind of patient with her shot. She's got a very slow pace to her game and takes her time and is scoring lethal and everything like that. But the main argument is who has more motion. 100%. Like Dolores had a thing on Twitter where it went viral where he was like, LSU don't have the same type of motion that they used to have. And people was like, what are you talking about? Like Flage's on every commercial right now. And he's like, people just ain't talking about him. And I'm like, but like people have never talked, you know what I'm saying? Like the thing about South Carolina is Don is kind of set up to where it's like no stars. It's like to be a star in South Carolina, you really got to like go above and beyond. Like Asia Wilson had to go above and beyond. Aaliyah Boston had to go above and beyond to become stars in South Carolina, because it was like she prioritizes and promotes team ball so much. You know what I'm saying? So that's just what it is and everything like that. So That's the case there. Chris said he agrees with Danielle talking about Michaela has better IQ, higher IQ. He said I agree with that, but I think Lay has more ball skills. Time will tell who's better, IQ versus skill. I agree with that, Chris. You just talk about natural talent. I think my Elijah Fulwiley just does things with basketball that like few people can do in the world. You know what I'm saying? But what does that mean when you kind of get out of control? You know, it's the difference between Kyrie Irving and say, I don't know, like J.R. Smith when J.R. Smith was doing crazy things. So yeah. Danielle said, I can say Lay has more handles. 100%. But Michaela is like, she's more efficient scorer. I think that's the word for it. More efficient scorer. All right. Next thing. Speaking of Sarah Williams, let's speak about Sarah Williams, man. So the Beast is going to the Big East. The Beast is going to the Big East, man. What a monster right here.
That's for losers, man. I don't get involved in that stuff, but
Angel Rashad Milligan rolling out.
That's a good question.
We can't ask Rashad questions.
Hey, Rashad.